going on YouTube? Mike with I Heart Knives here. Today we're going to talk about single bevel. Well, in this case it's a Japanese usuba. It's a single bevel blade. Has a concave back. Most people think that the backs of these knives are completely flat, but there actually is a concave. So when the stones make contact, they'll only contact the spine here and then the blade here, right at the edge basically. You can see those two lines, that's where the stone actually makes contact, and then everything in between here does not. Makes it faster to sharpen. This has a pretty rough looking bevel right now. It's been used quite a bit. It needs to be cleaned up, and I'm going to sharpen it. So I have 3 naturals here, natural Japanese stones. This is like a softer Tomai. And that's like the strata that the stone is from. This is a Suita stone, and then this is Uchigomori. This will be the last one that I use. That'll help clean up to give it what's called a kasumi finish, which has like a hazy looking pattern, and you'll be able to see the steel line where the blue number 2 hardened steel and the mild steel meet. You'll see like a line here, or you should be able to. I'll do my best to get the camera to focus on it. So right now we're just going to concentrate on this stone. Throw some water on it. And we'll start on the single bevel portion first. And usually when you sharpen single bevel knives, you want to work with basically this hand is doing all the work and this is just steadying the knife. But you start to walk your fingers down toward the edge. So you'll start up here, and that will remove metal up here on the shinogi line, and then as you walk your fingers down toward the edge, you will clean up all the way down here, and that's how you sharpen toward the edge. So I'm gonna do this a little quick. This isn't gonna be like an in-depth one. If you guys comment and leave it that you want an in-depth sharpening video, I'll definitely do it. But for right now, I'm just gonna show you guys, walk you through how I sharpen this usuba. There's actually a compound bevel to this knife. It kind of looks like this is all just like a flat grind like you'd see on a pocket knife, but that's actually not true. It's actually a convex grind, so it has multiple angles as you work from the shinogi line down. Another tip is when you're doing single bevel knives, to only put pressure on your forward stroke or your edge trailing stroke. So when you're going away with the edge, when the edge is coming towards you, you shouldn't put pressure. It just has something to do with the edge and taking steel away. If you're putting pressure this way too, it can mess up your shinogi line. And same goes for when you do the backside of the knife, or the I think it's called the udaoshi, the concave side of the knife. You only put pressure on your trail leading. So I'm putting pressure when I'm pulling back like this. So we'll just keep doing this. And at the end I will put just a tiny micro bevel on the edge. It just helps the edge last a little bit longer. Normally, like on pocket knives and stuff, I don't do that, but this is a single bevel, and since it's such a thin edge, the micro bevel helps a lot, just to strengthen the edge a little bit. This is a Japanese knife. It's made in Japan. I got it off a seller that I know well from Japanese stones, and I trusted him. And you know, sometimes you have to be careful what you get. But I knew that he was reputable, and you know, from past stones that I got from him, I knew I was getting a quality knife. The only thing I did do was I did a rehandle on it, just because a lot of the Japanese knives, they don't come with good handles. The more expensive ones do, but a lot of them come with crap handles. So this is I want to say this is a zebra wood handle with I don't remember if this is ebony or if it's maybe it's like African blackwood, one of the two, I think. I have a couple different Japanese knives that I rehandled, so I think we're pretty good here. This edge wasn't terrible. It wasn't amazing, but the awesome thing about single bevel knives is they don't take a ton of work to get them back, especially like the high carbon ones. They don't take a ton of work. I am gonna use an Atoma 400. And it's a fairly well worn plate. It's not new by any means. I've lapped a lot of Japanese naturals with it. And just work up a little slurry on this suita, because this is a fairly hard suita, and you need a little bit of a slurry. I mean, you don't need it, but it helps. It helps get a better kasumi finish. Pretty cool. I put up a ZDP 189 sharpening video, and Patty from Patty's Potato Peelers saw it, which is pretty freaking cool in my eyes. I only have a handful of subscribers, and thank you to all you guys who are subscribed to my channel. Patty, I appreciate you taking the time to come check out my video, or any of my videos for that matter. So there you can see that it's cleaning it up a little bit. See if we can get it to focus on the edge where that Kasumi finish is. I don't know why it's having such a hard time, but there you might be able to see it now. So toward the tip, you can probably see that it's shinier toward the bottom. And then right at the very bottom here, it gets like dark gray, so it's shiny here. And then at the very bottom, it's a little bit darker. And that's where the lamination line is. When I get the Uchikamori stone, you should be able to see it a little bit better. But the real way to get like a fantastic Kasumi finish is to take finger stones, which are little pieces of stone, usually from Uchikamori, which is a type of stone, and they'll take the stone and then they'll rub it back and forth like this, and they'll just keep doing this. And actually, I can technically use my fingers. It's not really the safest thing. I've done it before. Be careful if you ever try to attempt this. But just to try to clean this up for you guys a little bit. Especially at the back now, I think you should be able to see this a lot better. And there you can see. It's much brighter at the edge, and it's dark gray above it. Alright, so now let's get to work. You can see it starts sticking to the stone a little bit, and the more the edge gets the finish of the stone, the more it will get like this suction-y feel. The steel like starts to conform to the stone, and that's usually how you know you're getting, like, especially with straight razors or like Japanese Kemisori razors. That's how you know when your edge is getting really close, is your razor will start to stick to the stone, and you get this suction-y feel. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's go to the Uchikamori. Thank you guys for being patient and waiting through this if you're still watching. I promise that Uchikamori really brings this thing to a different level. Doesn't take much water, but you'll see. This thing works fast. And you don't want to put a lot of pressure, especially with this stone. These are pretty fragile. You can get like chipping of the stone and work off like a lot of the particle. You don't want to do that. You want to just be gentle, let the stone do the work. And here, you should be able to get a nice shot of that. There you can see the lamination. There, it picks it up really well. So you can see that brighter edge right here. And it goes all the way up. That's the lamination line I was talking about. Cool. Alright. Zoom me back out. Let's finish this off. Hey, I'm going to throw a little bit of a micro bevel on. Okay, and now take the strap. Let's see if we can shave some hair. Let me pull this up a little further. Alright. Yeah, and it shaves like a straight razor would. See if we can get those hairs to appear. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the hairs on the end of the knife, but either way, do a quick paper test. This thing is just stupid sharp. It's gonna be like a scalpel. That's the thing about single edge knife. The edge you can get off of it is just ridiculous. And this is blue number 2. White number 2 or white number 1. You can see there, you know, it's effortless. White number 1 and white number 2 is going to get even finer of an edge than blue. Blue has, you know, like a little bit more coarse finish of an edge, but it's still a fine grain structure. It's just meant for, like, it's meant for tools and white steel was designed for like kitchen cutlery and things that you need a really fine edge for, and blue steel was made for a fine edge, but something that's meant to work longer. So like for carpentry, like hand planes and stuff like that. You still, in a kitchen knife, you can easily get away with blue steel. You don't need white, but it'll hold the edge a little bit longer than white steel will. And you can see, again, that like ribbon type cut. So it'll feather paper, it'll do basically whatever you need it to. But yeah, so that's how you sharpen a single edge or a single bevel knife. In this case it was a Japanese Usuba. I also have a Deba, so if you guys want to see that sharpened, it's a 105 millimeter blue. It's either blue number 1 or blue number 2. I'll have to look it up. But either way, if you guys want to see that, or if you want to see more detailed sharpening videos on, like a more beginner level, I can definitely do that. So if you guys leave it in the comments what you want to see, just let me know. This is Mike with I Heart Knives. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you on the next one.